Hello everybody and welcome to Sunday Morning Knits, my channel where I talk about all of the fiber related crafts that I have been getting up to lately, mostly knitting and spinning, but sometimes crochet as well. Today I have podcast episode 25 for you, I think. I'm like losing track now. I should have checked before I started filming, but I did not. I think it's podcast episode 25. And I'm very excited for this episode to come out. This episode is coming out on Sunday, June 15th. And this is especially exciting because I have a pattern release today. So by the time that you're watching this, the AOS socks are going to be out on Ravelry and up on my website. You can buy them there. I love this pattern so much. It was so much fun to design and to knit up. I designed these to kind of echo the lace and cables pattern on the AOS slipover. That pattern came out in May, and I just loved it so much that I felt like I needed a pair of socks. My favorite detail about these socks, and I realize that you can't fully see it because of the way that it's on my sock blocker, but I'm going to take it off the sock blocker to show you. My favorite detail is the toe. I've never done anything like this before in any of my patterns, but the lace and cables detail comes to a little point across the top of the foot, and I love it. I think it's just such a cute little detail and adds like a fun layer of texture to the sock, and I love it. So yeah, those are my AOS socks. They are out now. You can find them on my Ravelry and my website, and there'll be a link down in the show notes for those. There is a discount code for these socks for 25% off. I'll put that on the screen because I haven't set it up yet. So I'll pop that on the screen and you can use that to get 25% off for the first week of the pattern. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope you like my AOS socks. I love them, so I hope you do too. These were knit, by the way, in case you're curious, with Paisley Knits Book Club 2024 sock yarn in the colorway Migrations. And it's this beautiful like light green with like ever so subtle texture and like variegation. So yeah, those are the AOS socks. They are out now. Do I have any other big news to share? I don't think so. I think that's it for like housekeeping news. So let's jump into finished objects. So I have one finished object and one half finished object to share. Let's start with my finished object. Oh, I'm kind of sitting on it. My finished object is my Petra Scarf. Ta-da! You can't really see it. It's really long. It's like a big triangle scarf. And I love it. This is made with 2 skeins of Heirloom by Wool & Twine Fiber Co. in the undyed colorway. I love it so much. This pattern is actually now in testing, which I'm very, very excited for. It will be coming out in the end of September, just in time for cozy cold season, and I can't wait. It's very squishy. It is a waffle stitch texture. I wrote this pattern as a bit more of a recipe than like a legitimate pattern, in that this pattern can be knit on any weight yarn, although I have specifics for fingering weight, DK weight, and Aran weight in the pattern. And it can use as much or as little yarn as you have, so it's perfect for scraps and leftovers after projects, or single skeins that are very special, or 2 very special skeins, to get whatever size that you want. So I'll give you a little close up of the texture. It's so squishy and so lovely. And there's a little 2-stitch I-cord detail on the end just to prevent it from rolling, but it doesn't interfere with the texture at all, which I really love. I love the look of I-cords, don't get me wrong, but I wanted something that wouldn't really interfere with the texture. So we have just a little 2-stitch I-cord on the end, and yeah, I really love this pattern, and the test is going well. Some people are already done, which is absolutely insane to me because it took me a month, I think, to knit this. So 2 skeins fingering weight. And some people, the test has been going on for like a week, and some people are already done. I guess they're doing much smaller scarves than I did. But that's still like a tiny bit wild to me that people are already done. Anyway. That is the Petra Scarf. I'm very excited for that release. I love a big squishy triangle scarf, so I can't wait for September when it gets released into the world. My next finished object is a half finished object because it is a sock. This is my Scrappy Quilt sock by Tiny Human Knits. I just adore these colors together. I'm not really like a huge warm tone person. I love warm tones, don't get me wrong, but I tend to lean cooler. But I just love how these all looked together. So I picked this up in the last release that she had, and I finished the first one. This has just been my like backpack sock project lately, so I love it. I did a 3x1 cuff, which you can't really tell, but I really love the way that it turned out. I love self-striping yarn, it's so much fun. I did a little reinforced heel flap as well, but otherwise it's just like a basic sock pattern. It's the basic sock pattern that I use, that I made up over years and years of knitting socks. So very excited. I need to cast on my second one, but I have other socks currently on the go. So maybe I'll finish those first before casting on the second one of this. Actually, probably not, because I love the colors and it's so satisfying and potato chippy that I'll probably just cast this on right away, actually. Yeah, so I'm very excited. Let's put this up on my wall so that you can see. Okay, that is it for finished objects. Oh, we have a cat. Oh, hi. Thank you. My sweet kitchen. Yeah, let's talk about works in progress. So I have a handful. Now I have one work in progress that I am not going to share yet. We'll see if I'll share it in the next episode. But this has been taking up most of my knitting time, so I have not actually done a ton of work on my other projects because of this one. But I do have a few things that I can share. So the first that I wanted to share is, for the very first time ever, I am knitting with my Handspun. So you saw this, I believe, in the last episode, as my cat like walks across my camera and my laptop. I believe you saw this in the last episode. This is my Maeve, what are you doing? March Club colorway? No, April Club colorway from the La Mercerie Fibre. This is 316 Dye Studios Wood Ash on 100% Cormo. No, Corriedale. 100% Corriedale. And I spun it with quite a high twist. It's a 2-ply. And I spun it with quite a high twist so that I could make socks out of it. Corriedale is quite scratchy, so I knew that I didn't really want something that would be like close to skin unless it was sock yarn. So I decided to make socks. And I'm making socks for my dad for his birthday, so I cast those on. I'm doing a 2x2 rib for them. And I think I'll do 2x2 rib all the way down. And then switch to doing just stockinette on the bottom, but continue the rib across the top. partially because it's a little bit uneven. And I think that the ribbing does a good job at like hiding how uneven it is. I know that my dad's gonna love this no matter what. My dad always asks for socks. Actually, the other sock that's hanging up on my wall, that guy, is a Christmas present from last Christmas for my dad that I didn't finish until January. So dad got like one sock for Christmas, and then we'll be getting that other sock when I'm home next. I love you, Dad. He does not watch this, which is why I can talk about this. Mom, if you're watching this, don't tell Dad. Yeah, anyway, I think he'll love them. My dad loves hand knit socks, and he's very knitworthy, so I think he'll love that it's hand spun as well. My dad also really loves making and giving handmade objects. He's a woodworker, so he gives a lot of like handmade wood things. I come from a very crafty family. Everyone, my mom, my dad, my brother, were all very crafty and love to give handmade gifts. So I know that my dad will appreciate hand spun yarn and handmade socks. So yeah, these, because my yarn came out kind of like a DK worsted, I'm using US size 6. So it's actually kind of like a little bit gappy, but I think that might just partially be because my hand spun is a little bit uneven. But the ribbing hides that nicely, and then we'll see how it blooms once I wash them. We'll see. I hope it goes well. Yeah. My next work in progress is my Kintra sweater. So I am working on the Kintra by Rebecca Clow of the Crayabea, and I am using the Sunday Fibre Co. Christmas Advent from last year, which was inspired by the Nutcracker. Absolutely love how this is turning out. Here, let me show you a little bit closer. It's hard because the corner that I'm in my apartment doesn't really have that much light, so it's hard to like show it off, but yeah, that's my Kintra. I talked last time about how I knit the like first part of this on US size 7 needles, and it came out way too small. So I actually just went up to US size 9. Sorry, there's noises going on outside. I switched to US size 9 like halfway through, because I wasn't getting gauge, and honestly, I don't think you can really tell that I like switched needle sizes so dramatically. Maybe like a knitter could tell, but I don't think anybody else will, so I am not too worried. I like how it's turning out. I might just have to do a few extra rows before splitting for the sleeves, just to make sure that I have like the proper yoke depth. But yeah, I'm really loving it. I haven't done a ton on this, partially because I just didn't feel like winding more mini skeins, and partially because I'm working on that other project, so yeah. But I have a goal of finishing this by the end of the summer so that I can have it for the cold season. I'm very excited. This will be a double folded collar. I just haven't folded it down yet. So yeah, big fan of 2x2 color work. Sorry, 1x1 color work. 1x1 color work, two-handed color work. So that's my Kintra. I am loving it. It's in my beautiful... Oh no, I have the hiccups. I woke up at like 2 o'clock this morning with hiccups and had the hiccups for like an hour. So I hope this isn't a sign of my hiccups coming back. Anyway, I was saying it's in my beautiful knitting swan bag, which I love. So, okay, what else am I working on? Oh, since I'm here, I'm gonna grab this. So this is in my, I just got this tote bag. I went to the Ripped Bodice with my friends last weekend, which is a romance bookstore here in Los Angeles. Actually, I think there's one in New York now as well. yeah, it's like the cutest bookstore on the entire planet, and I had to get a tote, obviously, because I'm both a knitter and a reader, and you can never have too many tote bags if you have one of those hobbies, let alone if you have both of them. The next thing that I'm working on, and I did put actually a fair bit of work into this, and I don't remember if you've seen this, is a baby blanket. My cousin is expecting a little one in August, and because I come from a family of crafty humans, we're all knitting and crocheting things for baby, so I am crocheting a little baby blanket. This is the same pattern of the baby blanket that I had growing up. My Nana crocheted my brother and I baby blankets, and although I never learned how to crochet as a kid, like I learned how to do like a chain stitch, but really nothing more than that, I went and I hunted down exactly the pattern or exactly the stitch that she used to make my baby blanket. Turns out it's called a granny stitch. I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to crochet, in case you didn't know. But I learned how to do a granny stitch, and now I'm making a baby blanket for my cousin in the granny stitch. I'm very excited. It's really fun. Obviously I don't really know much about crochet or how to do crochet, but I'm actually really enjoying it. I got the Furls crochet hooks to do this, and I really love how they fit in my hand. It makes the process very enjoyable. I am doing this in acrylic. I really hate acrylic, but I used my baby blanket to death. And I remember how much my mom had to wash, obviously, my baby blanket, because kids and babies are very messy. And so I wanted something that was durable and washable and like put in a dryerable, because I don't know, I feel like a wool baby blanket is maybe kind of impractical. Like, I am a knitter who hand washes most of all of my clothes, all of my handmade objects, but even I don't think I would use like a wool baby blanket that I'd have to hand wash. I wouldn't have time for that. So we're using acrylic. So it's not the greatest like hand feel out there, and it is a little squeaky, but it's also kind of nostalgic because I'm like, oh yeah, this is what my baby blanket felt like, and I kind of love that. So I think it's a good choice for a baby blanket. I thought about using I thought about using superwash yarn, but I also know that with superwash, the like superwash treatment eventually comes off the yarn after you've washed it a couple times, and I didn't want to risk it like washing well for the first couple times and then like felting. So acrylic it is. Ta-da! This is gonna be crib sized, so it's gonna be 60 inches wide and then 45 inches tall. I figured if baby really loves it, and once baby is outside of crib size, I can just make another one. My baby blanket was actually quite small. I think my baby blanket was crib size. And I carried it around with me until I was much older. It did not matter to me that it was crib sized. I know that my Nana actually did make me another one that was a lot bigger eventually, but my brother took that one, even though he had his own baby blanket. But he took that one, and I just hung on to my tiny crib size one. It was great. I loved it. So I had no qualms about it being small. So if baby wants a bigger one eventually, I will happily make baby a bigger one. I'm so excited. That's one of the great things actually about going home. I know I talked about this a little bit in my last episode. I've been shadow dismissed from my PhD, which just means that I haven't met any of the requirements to be dismissed, but they don't like me, so they want me to leave. Over the past 3 years, because I'm in a different country from my family, I've missed a lot of things. Like, I've missed a lot of milestones and birthday parties and babies and stuff like that, and weddings. And it's really hard living in a different country from your family. And I am applying to PhDs elsewhere. I'm applying to PhDs in Europe, so even farther from home. But it'll be nice to be home at least for the summer, if not for a year, and get to be with my family again and get to see this baby born. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. It'll be nice to be around family again for a little bit before potentially popping off to Europe. We'll see. So at least I hope, like, if I get into a PhD that starts in the fall, I actually might miss baby, which would be very sad, but we'll see. I get to see a whole bunch of weddings this summer, which will be really nice. Yeah, missing weddings has been a very sad part of being in a different country, but I get to see 3 in the like first 2 weeks of being home, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun. And baby blanket is coming along, so I need to get cracking on that. Baby's due end of August, so I still have some time, and I'm making good progress, and it's worsted weight wool and a gigantic hook, so should take me no time at all. I just need to like maybe put on like the extended edition of Lord of the Rings or something and like crochet like the entire thing in one go. Yeah. Okay, what else am I working on? Oh yeah, okay, so I picked this up again. I started this, okay, let me back up even more. At the end of my master's, I knit a pair of socks for my MA supervisor as a thank you gift. And I really loved how they turned out. I then ended up knitting the same pair, like a similar pair, but the same pattern for my grandma for her birthday. And I recently, and by recently I mean like a year ago, was like, maybe I should release this as a pattern. And this week I picked the socks back up again. So this is the sock. It's a very simple worsted weight sock with this little like cable running down it. The cable goes all the way to the toe, and then you like just decrease in pattern basically. So you just keep cabling until you like can't physically cable anymore. And it has a little slip stitch reinforced heel. I'm doing this in Knitting for Olive. This is the colorway Petroleum Blue or something like that. Can't quite remember. But they're so fast. They're knit on US size 6 needles. As you can see, I'm doing magic loop, which is an adventure because I don't like doing magic loop. But I can't find my second set of US size 6 DPNs right now. Actually, I wonder if they're in here. I think those are my 7s. Yeah, can't find. So we're doing magic loop, but I really love them, and I put in my Discord chat the other day, I was like, would anybody like these socks? Like, is this something people would be interested in? And I had a whole bunch of people say yes. So I think I'm gonna put out a test call for this in the last week of June. And then the test will run throughout the month of July, and I'll release them in August, just in time for the like cold season fall knitting to start. So if you're interested in potentially test knitting these, it'll come in 4 sizes. I would recommend you sign up for my newsletter. There's a link in the show notes for that. I put out all my test calls and pattern releases and stuff on my newsletter. I promise I don't spam you. But it's just the best way to make sure that you get all of those test calls, because as we know, sometimes it's hard to find them on Instagram because Instagram might not show you all my content. So sign up for that newsletter. Highly recommend. Yeah, and these will be called the Selene socks. I'm very excited. I think they're very beautiful, very simple, a nice little added detail to some very thick, cozy, nice wintry socks. So yeah, those are the Selene socks. I'm very excited. Yeah, I needed to do something different than the other project that I've been working on, the secret project that I can't talk about yet. And was like, maybe I should finish those. So yeah, that was fun. I have my Donna Tartt Secret History socks sitting on my desk, but I haven't worked on them there's been no progress since the last time you saw these. So yeah, those are still on my needles, but taking a wee bit of a backseat to the like 6 other pairs of socks that I currently have on the go. Obviously I will finish them because I love them and they're beautiful, and I want one of each, like a pair of socks for each of the 2024 book club colorways from Coley. But yeah, that one has a wee bit of a backseat right now. There's one other project that I've been working on, just a little bit. I haven't really put a ton of work into this, but you've seen this many times, and that's my Dido Tee, which I test knit for Sorry Nordland, and now I'm just working on the body. It's taking forever, but that's partially because I keep getting sidetracked with other projects. But it's so beautiful. I really love it, and I can't wait to have it for the summer. I think it'll be nice and temperature regulating. So yeah, my goal is to finish this one in July, so that I can wear it in August. Yeah. In terms of spinning works in progress, I have 2. Actually, that's not true, I have 3. I can't remember if I talked about this last time. I mean, I definitely talked about this spin, but I'm not sure if this was done the last time. This is my Little Fiber Co. Patisserie Countdown from last year. It is 100% Rambouillet, 8 ounces, and I finished my 2nd bobbin. So I've started my 3rd bobbin, which is so exciting. I'm really hoping that I can finish my singles before going home. That way I can ply them when I'm home. We shall see. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm so excited to have that spin done. I don't know what I'm going to make with it. Who knows? I also have a spin on my wheel, my Ashford Traveler, but I'm not going to take that off because I want that one to be a surprise. So yeah, it is a La Mercerie Fibre Club spin, so you'll see it eventually, but I also just don't want to take it off my wheel. And finally, I have been working on a drop spindle project. I've been very inspired by my friend Drew, who I know watches these. So Drew, you are extremely inspiring. And I've been working on a little drop spindle spin. This just lives on my desk. This is a tweed from somebody, can't remember who. I have 8 ounces of this, and I'm aiming for a fingering weight, so I'm spinning very thin. Actually, here, let me unwind a little bit of this so you can see. I want to learn how to spin thread weight, and I'm trying to get there. Drew, if you're watching this, please give me feedback on how to make this smaller. It's hard. I'm wondering if the answer is maybe just use a tinier spindle. Anyway, Drew, I would like feedback, please. Let me know. My friend Drew spins the most amazing embroidery thread, and just thread weight yarn in general, and it's incredible. So I'm trying to learn how to do that, because oh my gosh, it's amazing. And she's always like drop spindle spinning, and so I've been inspired to like pick that up too. I don't think I love Turkish spindle spinning, but I like drop spindle spinning. Although supported spindle spinning is still my favorite, but I haven't been doing any supported spins lately. I should get back to that. There's just so much to do. So much to do. Oh, and I picked up a new hobby. I completely forgot about this. I guess I should mention this. Okay, pulling it off my corkboard. Let's start with the first step. So, my friend Laurel gave me a needle felting kit, and I made a tiny needle felted unicorn. Look at this thing. It's so cute. It is so freaking adorable. Its horn is a little bit bent because I had it in my bag. Yeah, so my friend Laurel gave me a needle felting kit to make a tiny unicorn. And I was like, well, this is the best thing ever. So I promptly purchased a whole bunch of needle felting supplies. And I've been really inspired by hyper-realistic needle felting, and specifically needle felted fruits and vegetables. I have no idea why, I just am. And so I decided to try to make carrots. So this was my first attempt at a carrot. I used like different colors and textures to make kind of like a dirt vibe. I wanted them to look like carrots that were like just pulled out of the garden kind of thing. Not the like kind of carrots you buy in a store. So I have like basically like dirt. My second attempt, I didn't add any of the brown, but I still added a lot of the like texture that you would see on carrots to it. And I'm very happy with how both of these have turned out. I'm not super in love with how I did the leaves, or like the carrot stalks, I guess. But I was trying to like find a balance between hyperrealism and like still using the texture of the medium to make art, you know? So this is like unfelted at the top here to kind of represent the leaves. I'm not sure if I'm super happy with that. Drew suggested that I wet felt them, and I love that idea, so I think I might try wet felting the leaves. But yeah, so now I'm needle felting as well and making carrots, apparently. So that's been my treat for finishing, or almost finishing, the quarter anyway. It's been so much fun. I love needle felting. New hobby unlocked. New fiber hobby unlocked. So now, in addition to all of my spinning fiber and all of my yarn, I have a whole bunch of needle felting fiber and needle felting supplies hanging out in my apartment. But it's great. We love fiber hobbies. So I think that's it for works in progress, new hobbies, new fiber hobby additions. So I think the last thing I have to share is acquisitions, and I only have one. This is my, it's one sec under a bunch of things. This is my monthly sock club from Sunday Fiber Co. And this is the June, this is the June club colorway. The colorways are All You Need Is Love and Penny Lane. So this one is Penny Lane, and this is All You Need Is Love. I love this set. I love the like peachy pink and the tans. And I think it's just the cutest thing ever. Like, look at this. How stunning is that? I love everything Sunday Fiber Co. does. Oh my gosh. She's amazing. So, yeah. That's my only acquisition. And I think that's everything in terms of that. In terms of life stuff, I've already mentioned that I'm moving back to Canada shortly. I think my next podcast episode will actually be from Canada. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I am very sad that I will be missing my knit night friends. I love them all so much. But I will keep in touch with them, and there's a knit night not too far from my house that I'll be going to, that I'm very excited about. Yeah, and depending on like where I end up after that, who knows? Things are kind of in flux right now, life-wise, so yeah, I have no idea what country I'm even going to be in 6 months from now, so we'll see. I'll keep you updated. It's definitely going to be an adventure. I've loved living in LA. It's been one hell of an experience. But I'm ready for a new adventure now. Yeah, we'll see what PhD program I end up in, whether or not I take a year off and work, what yarn stores are around. I promise that wherever I end up, I will take you to some fun new yarn stores and fun new knit nights, and it's gonna be great. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. The AO socks are out now. I hope you love them. Don't forget about that coupon code. And I think that's everything I have to share. I know this has been a bit of a shorter episode, so I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and happy knitting. I'll see you next time.